Hey, so I'm Aaron Kingsley Brown, Canadian Olympic sprinter. I'm from Toronto, Ontario, and I represent Team Canada.
Hi, I'm Bianca Borgella. I'm from Ottawa, Ontario, and I am also a Canadian sprinter who represents Team Canada as well.
So, Bianca, how old are you?
I'm 20, but a lot of people keep saying that I look like I'm 15 or 16. Don't age, you know what they
Don't worry, I
say.
get that still.
Oh,
I'm
really?
21 and I still get people asking if I'm in college, so it
Oh,
never really goes away. Cool. How long have you been doing track?
2 years basically. Like I started mostly competitive 2 years ago, but I did it a lot in high school, kind of just for fun. Was kind of doing every single event from like 100 all the way to like 1500. Don't
Mhm.
ask why, I just did it. But
Just
yeah,
experimenting.
no, yeah, I just experimenting because I used to do cross country and I don't know. That was an interesting journey that I did, but I don't know.
So, what made you land on the sprints,
Um, I think what
other
made me
than the
like,
fact that it's the best event?
yeah. Wait, what?
Other than the fact that it's the best event, how did you land on the sprints versus, distance running and all that?
Because in cross country, I used to always sprint the first like 400 meters and then be gassed for the rest.
Mm.
And I would start walking, and my coach was like, "Why are you walking? You're supposed to like continue running." I'm like, "I can't. I'm tired. Like, I can't." And she's like, "But
Mm.
you were ahead." And I'm like, "But I'm tired. I can't
Right.
keep going." So she's like, "Okay, yeah, you're not meant to do long distance. Like, that is not for you."
Yeah.
So they're like, "Yeah, you're doing short sprints." But like you, how'd you get into sprints?
Man, way back, I used to run just for fun, and I did a lot of different sports. I played soccer, I
Yeah.
played basketball, I played football, and track was just kind of like my calling, just because I was always fast in the other sports. And like in soccer, for example, the coach would just say, "Kick the ball as far as you can, and then Aaron, go get it, and then score a goal." So that was our whole strategy. It was just Aaron run, and yeah, so I just felt like, okay, maybe I'll try track just to see how fast I actually am. And then
Yeah.
I had my high school club coach, Bill Stevens, kind of say like, hey, come up for the club team and let's see what you can really do if you actually train for this thing. And, one thing led to another. I just been kept going on and rising in the ranks. And here I am years later, still doing track and field, and doing what I love. So kind of just spoke to me.
Oh
Is
yeah,
that
that's
is that kind of what you see yourself doing, or do you know? Because you're 20, I assume you're in college.
yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, at first, I thought I was gonna go pro in gymnastics because that was my first sport.
Mhm.
And I was like, okay, I'm gonna become a gymnast. That is it. And then I was like, I don't know. Mom's like, you're fast. And I'm like, yeah, I guess. And she's like, try running, like do running. You'd be really good. And I was like, I'll test it out. Let's test the waters. Did it. They're like, oh yeah, you are really fast. Like went to OFSA
Mhm.
and flats. I didn't even wear spikes until I was like 18. I went to OFSA and
Mhm.
flats at the age of 15. I don't
Yeah.
know how I was there. Sometimes I was like, why am I here? Like everyone looks so like professional and I'm over here running in my flats.
Mhm.
So did that, somehow won. And they're like, yeah, you're gonna be doing running, you're running. And I'm like,
Right.
okay, that's the path now.
So you won also your senior year?
No, that was my grade 9 year. So I think it was called sophomore, freshman, one of them. I can't
Freshman.
remember. Yeah.
So wait, you won OFSA in flats?
Yeah, in flats.
Oh wow.
I,
Okay, that's raw
wow.
talent right there.
I don't know how I won it. I don't even know why I was there, but the
Wow.
time, at the
Yeah.
time, I think it was like at 13, like a low 13. I don't
Yeah.
know how, but
What's your best now?
my best now is 12:03.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Still can't break the 11s because I don't dip. So
Well, gotta work on that. That's right there. You gotta crack that barrier.
because like I've seen many people just dip like, oh yeah, my time got shaved off like 0.20. And I'm like, yeah, see, like it's in my brain to just dip, but it's like I kind of just forget it. Like when you're in the zone, you don't remember to dip.
Yeah. Well, sometimes it helps if you run through the line. So if you run like 105 meters instead of 100, you carry your momentum through the line, so you don't even need to
Yeah.
dip. So, you know,
Yeah, that's also another issue. I don't run through the line either.
well, there you go. That's probably more important than dipping. You got to make
Yeah,
sure you run the whole 100.
that is also true. Would you say like the best part in your 100 is the start or the finish?
Growing up, it was always the finish, but I feel like I've worked on my start so much lately that now that's like my strong point, and my middle is where I need to work on kind of tying it together because that'll help my finish as well. I kind of have like a lull period in the middle, like coming out of the drive phase, where
Yeah.
that's usually when the field comes back if I've gained any advantage, and it's like kind of hold on to the line. But if
Hmm.
I can tie it together and make it a little more smooth with my transition, then it'll be more like carrying in the momentum that I built up in the first 20, 30 meters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think yeah, I'll say yeah. Like I feel like the transitioning phase is always the hardest phase because it's like, okay, time to like stand up straight and like
Mhm.
I don't know. I feel like that's like the hardest phase. Even the dry phase. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, the key is not to rush it, right? So
Yeah.
you want to think about it like an airplane taking off the runway, and they don't just get going and then immediately go up, right? Like they take
Yeah.
their time to smoothly accelerate and take off into the air. So you got to be patient, and it's hard when you have people around you. Maybe they're taking off and they're up and running, and you're like, I want to go chase them, but
Yeah.
you got to stay patient and get everything out of your drive phase before you stand up.
Would you say like the way you approach a 100 is a lot different than the way you approach a 200?
Absolutely. Uh, First off, the two's been like my pet event. So like most people know me as a 200 guy. And so I feel
Hmm.
like there's more expectations there. And I've been world ranked I think 4 years now in the top 10 in the two. And I've been or it might be five. I have to double check that. But uh 2 years in the 100. So I'm more so known in the two.
Hmm.
But I feel like with that, people expect more in the two, right? So when I'm in the 100, it kind of feels more like loose and fun. It's just
Yeah.
like I love the 100 because it's over quick and it's a quick burst, and everyone loves the 100 because it's just top end speed and going out quickly in a straight line.
Yeah.
So when I run the 100, I kind of approach it like, all right, it's kind of playing with house money. Like, let's see what I can do here and mix things up. People aren't really expecting much from me, especially at the world stage. Um, but when it's the two, it's like, okay, this is my money maker right here. I gotta put it together.
Hmm.
How
You have
about
to
you? What do you like better?
Ooh. Honestly, I think I like the two more.
Okay. Why?
Because like it takes me a while to build up speed in a one, and it's because it's over so fast. I'm like, oh, but now I'm like at top and like speed, like why is it done? So I feel
Right.
like in a two, I'm like, okay, when I come off the bend, I'm like, okay, I'm vibing, and then like I love the slingshot effect. Like
Mm,
it's a beautiful feeling. And I'm
it
like,
is.
okay, I'm top end speed. This is my thing. Like I love chasing down, especially if I'm not the first one off the curve. I love chasing down, and I'm like always so relaxed when doing it. So I'm like, this is fun. Like this is what I love. This is what I live for. So
Okay.
no, definitely the 200.
So you're a closer, you'd say? Like your
Yeah,
strong suit's the end?
yeah.
Okay. Have you ever
'Cause
ran a four?
yeah, I've ran a four. No, the PTSD from a four is just no.
Okay. Well,
I,
as much as it hurts, it definitely helps, like giving you that strength, especially since you're already good at finishing. The four
yeah.
would just make you that much stronger and be able to hold your speed even more.
See, yeah, I know that, but then it's like I think like I'm now afraid of the four after my first ever experience doing a four,
Hmm.
because the way I approached like, yeah, you're running a four, and I'm like, I don't know how to run that. So I'm like, okay, do I run it like cross country? So like, do I jog it? They're like, no, you sprint it. And I'm like, okay, I guess. So I got out the blocks really hard. For the first 200, I was leading. I'm like, oh, this is not as bad as I thought it would be. Like, I'm doing really well.
Hmm.
Got to the 300-meter mark. Lactic was already hitting really bad. I puked midway through the race.
Oh,
And
leave.
my coach was like, keep going. You're not done yet. I'm like, what? So then I
Wait, you
stopped
tried to
puking.
stop during the race and he said
I
keep going?
stopped because I was in lane eight, puked off the track, but I was still in my lane. So like I puked off. They're like, keep going, you're not done yet. So then I'm like, oh, okay. So then I don't even know what happened at the last 100. It's such a blur.
Hmm.
Crossed the line, finished puking. They're like, you did so well. I'm like, no, no, I didn't.
Wow. I
I
can't say I've ever done that before. That's crazy.
so yeah, that's what kind of like now I'm just scared of the four.
I mean, I get it because I've only run two in my life. I've done
Oh,
4x4s and stuff, so at least you could start there. That's like training wheels.
mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I'm starting to like the four. I feel like it's something that's a challenge, and I like challenges, shaking things up.
See, I've never done a 4x4, but I've only done individual four. So I'm like, I don't know. What's the difference between both? Like,
Well, first of all, it's a relay, so you're with
yeah.
other people, so you don't feel as nervous, right? You're about to die, but you're dying with people. So at least it like kind of is like, all right, if we die together. Um,
Yeah.
but you get it on the flying start, so you're not really running a full 400 unless you go first, because
Hmm.
then you're coming out of the blocks and you probably have to run a little bit more. But yeah, just that team atmosphere, like you don't want to let your team down, so you kind of are feeding off each other, and you have a team with you hyping you up, so you feel kind of responsible. You want to do your part. I don't know, it's just a different approach. It's a different feeling. When it's open for you, it's just like, all right, it's just me out here, you know. I got to
Yeah.
survive this. I don't want to, die and then look crazy in front of everybody. But you can kind of mask that a little bit when you run a 4x4.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I don't know. You just have a little bit more bravery when you're in a relay. You should try one.
I don't know, because like the pressure of running with it, like your team is like, okay, what if I do bad? Like if I fall, I'm sorry, team. If I walk the finish line, it's my fault. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot more pressure in a relay for a 4x4 than it is like for your
I mean,
individual. Like, oh,
but
it's just
you,
my
have
stress.
you run the 4x1?
I do run the 4x1.
Yeah, it's the same thing, just a little longer. That's it.
A little longer though.
Yeah, you got a little bit more time. You're a finisher too, so you got a little bit more time to unwind and get going and go catch people like you like to do. So you definitely
Oh,
get to do that in the 4x4.
I don't know about that one.
So, do you run with the Ottawa Lions?
I do, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And they've never made you run a 4x4? That's crazy.
They've tried. They've really tried, but
Oh, okay.
for the 4x4, I'm gone. You won't
Uh,
find like where's Bianca for the 4x4? She's gone. She's not here anymore. She left.
See, what they need
Like,
to do is give you some incentive. Say like you get a practice off or something if you run the 4x4. Then you might be
mm,
inclined to run it.
we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. I don't know about that one, but
So, are
we'll
you
see.
running indoors?
Yeah, running indoors. Started my season a few weeks, 2 weeks ago, I think. Yeah, a week ago.
Okay.
Oh,
And how's
yeah.
that been so far? How's your training going?
It's been pretty good. I finally PB'd at the 60, so I'm happy about that.
Nice.
Um, and yeah, I'm gonna run some 300 soon. So yeah.
There you go. See, 300, you're on your way to a four. It's like 100
No,
meters long. That's it.
this is for the two. This is
So's the four. It's all for
uh,
the two.
it's all for the
Anyway,
two.
the 300 is good. Are you running in the dome?
Yes.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. I feel like I don't know, but the thing is, I have mixed emotions when it comes to indoors like season because I don't like 200-meter tracks. I don't know.
Mm,
Like
I
I
can
feel
see that.
like because they're banked, like whenever I run a two, like in the States, because I guess
Mhm.
their events are a lot different. I
Mhm.
get a lactic in a two on a bank track, but then outdoors it's like no lactic, and I'm like, this is weird. Don't know. It's kind of throwing me off.
Hmm.
So
Well, what are your PRs comparatively? Like, what do you run indoors versus outdoors?
I think I only ran once outdoors, and it was like a 26, and then in no, oh my gosh, wrong thing. Outdoors, 25 flat. Indoors, it was like a 26.3, and I was like, yeah, no.
So you only
This is
ran once indoors?
only once indoors, yeah.
Hmm. And
Yeah,
you said
after
you got lactic
I
in
said the
those.
26, and I said, yeah, we're not doing this again.
Huh. Well, I mean, it's just one of those things where you have to keep running it and learning how to run it, especially on a bank track. Like it's a completely different approach depending on lane you're getting. And outside you're in fresh air, open air, and inside is it's a lot different atmosphere.
Hmm.
So I would just say just keep running it and you'll keep dropping your time like once you get a hang of it.
Hopefully. How was your like college experience when you like did track in college?
Man, college was great. But I went to SC back in in 2010 to 2014.
Hmm.
So back then, my first coach that I had for 3 years didn't run indoors.
Oh.
So I only did outdoors. But then my senior year, we got a new coach, Coach Carroll, and she had us do indoors. So I got to do one season of indoors. Um, and I ended up back then having the Canadian record in the two, and then Andre broke it, unfortunately. one of my other, he actually broke both records, but
It's okay. You
um,
have first.
yeah, I know. Um, yeah. So I kind of like running indoors. Just it was like a change of pace, like being able to still compete in the fall and winter time versus
Yeah,
having to wait all the way until the spring and summer to get to open up, which is what I have been doing as a pro. This is about my
yeah.
10th season as a pro, and we haven't run indoors. So, I'm kind of used to it, just waiting and watching everybody else get to compete and then kind of being jealous and watching everybody have fun and compete. But it's part of the game, and I think that helps me stay fresh. That's how I'm still able to go because I'm not, spending all my energy indoors as well. But it
Yeah.
is fun. So,
If you were to like do an indoor event, what would it be?
you know, I really want to see what I could do in the 60 now. Um, because I feel like my starts are really good and I ran 6:55 when I was in college. And so I feel like I could go 6'4" now. And that would be really nice to put on my resume. But
Future,
um, sorry.
future time trial.
Yeah, I mean, time trial versus fully automatic is,
Yeah,
I,
it's a
I
little.
I like things to be official. Like I don't want anybody being like, "Oh, you only did that at practice" or something like that. That's why I don't like 4x4 splits because it's like it's on a clock, it's hand time, so like you can kind of mess with the
Yeah,
numbers. But like when I run the open four, nobody can say anything, right?
that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, but it'd either be the 60 or like another 200, just so I could try to get my Canadian record back.
What was the Canadian record when you ran it?
Well, okay, you took off a big chunk. I'm not gonna lie. I
Oh,
ran 20:55 and the record used to be 20:60 something before I broke it.
oh my gosh.
And then Andre ran 2026. So he put it out there.
Now you have to take it back.
I know, but I don't know if I'm ever going to get the opportunity because my coach just always says, no, focus on outdoors. There's no Olympics indoors. There's no money indoors, yada, yada, yada. And these are all valid points, but it's like, still, I want to, it's for pride.
That's fair, but
So, do you think you want to run track after college?
oh no, definitely. My
Yeah.
goal is obviously like para athlete, but I might have bigger goals. I'm like, you know what? I want to kind of be one of the few para athletes to actually go to the Olympics. So definitely
Able
want to
body
stick
Olympics?
to able body. Yep.
Huh.
So definitely want to stick to it and hopefully get it one day because I told my
Okay.
mom I'm gonna do it, and now I got to do it. So,
What is your disability?
visual impairment.
Okay.
Yeah. So the only thing that's kind of lacking here is the vision, but once you got the glasses on, we're kind of set. But
Really? So the
yeah,
glasses help you see correct?
let me see. Like the way it kind of works is, so I can see. How do I explain this? It's always so hard to explain, but I can see to a certain extent, like really far distances, but it's not in detail. So
Okay.
it's like obviously in a 100 meter, I can see perfectly fine. I can run the straight line.
Yeah.
200 meter, I can see perfectly fine. Run the curve. Like I've done relays, so I'm like, okay, can see the person coming at me.
Yeah.
Estimate, yeah. So I'm like, okay, we're good there. So I'm like, yeah, I can do it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
How long have you had the impairment for? Is it something you were
Uh,
born with?
yeah, it was something I was born with, but like the way it kind of worked was I was born with no vision at all, and then over time I gained vision.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's kind of like I was like, I guess you could say a late bloomer in a way. So yeah.
That's what age did you get your vision?
Ooh, see, I don't even remember. My mom was like, "Oh, okay, yeah." So I was born and then did not kind of react to light until I was like 2 months old. And then she's
Okay.
like, "Oh, she's reacting to light now. Take her to the hospital." They're like, "Oh yeah, so her vision's not coming in." And then she's like, "What? That's weird." So then they kind of kept an eye on me, and then they're like, "Yeah, by the age of I think one, they're like, yeah, she's good. She's set."
Wow.
So
Huh. Okay.
yeah, it was weird because like the way my condition works is like you're not supposed to gain vision, but
Mhm.
that's how it
You
happened to me. So
you're agreed. That's
yeah.
awesome. So do you feel like you've ever like been in a position where that's held you back? Or do you, you
Um,
know,
I guess like in gymnastics, I feel like that was an issue a lot
yeah.
because it was like that's a very visual sport.
Yeah,
So
especially when you're in the air and doing flips and all that.
yeah, but I was always someone who's like, okay, I want to do the impossible. Like,
Well, I
yeah,
mean,
nothing
you're
like,
doing it already.
yeah, I'm like nothing's out of reach. Like, I feel like anyone can do anything if they really want to and they really put their mind to it. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do it. My mom's like, you're not doing gymnastics. Like, it's dangerous. Like, you could like miss the beam, boom, fall, injured. I'm like, nah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. And I managed. Like, I was actually really good. Like, I got to like level 7. And I was like, oh, like I like this.
Hmm.
So yeah, like
Nice.
I always like know my surroundings. I'm really aware of it. So
Yeah.
except for on the track, no, that was a little different. But
So do you have
uh,
to wear your glasses when you're doing gymnastics?
no, I didn't wear my glasses at all. Nope.
Really?
Because like even without glasses, I still have vision too. So glasses
Mhm.
kind of make it better. So yeah,
So do you run with glasses?
no,
What
I
about
can't.
like goggles? Have you tried that or you just
Nah,
don't
I feel
use them
like
anytime on the
I
court?
like being free. Like I run with my hair down now. And I'm like I feel like just being free, no glasses, no. Because like the
Just
fear of like it
let it
falling,
fly.
it's like
Right.
so yeah.
Cool. Cool. So like okay, so you want to go to the Olympics,
Hmm.
but is Paralympics also something you want to do? Like you want to do both or just the Olympics?
Mm, well, I feel like I could do both because like now I'm already on the kind of field for Paralympics because I did Worlds.
Hmm.
So already got my spot for the Paralympics. I'm like, yep, first step complete, next step Olympics.
Okay. Are you trying to go to Paris or like LA?
Paris. Ooh, wait, for the Olympics?
Yeah.
LA.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So is Paris where the Paralympics are too?
Hmm.
Okay, so Paralympics this year, and then in 4 years, LA.
Hmm.
That's the plan. Okay, okay. And when you went to the World Championships, how was that experience?
I was scared.
I bet.
Very scared because I'm like, okay, I competed at nationals, like Canadian nationals. So I'm like, okay, that wasn't too bad. Was nervous, but wasn't too bad. But I'm like, okay, now I'm in a different country,
Hmm.
like different continent in general. There's so many people. I'm like, okay, you know what, Bianca, you're fine. You're good. Just be yourself. Just walk in. The
Hmm.
moment they put the camera in my face, like Bianca Borgella, I'm like, oh, okay. Like even the commentator, like, yeah, she looks a little nervous there. Like she looks scared. And I'm like, yeah, I am.
Yeah.
Like very. And that was the same race I ran my PB actually. So I was like,
Oh,
you know what? Maybe being scared was a good thing.
right,
But
right. Challenging yourself, putting you in a foreign environment kind of
yeah,
brings like fight or flight, and I guess you chose the fight. That's good.
yeah. So I was like, you know what? Now they know I'm scared, so that's a good thing. They won't expect anything out of me. So
Yeah, man.
ran it,
Well,
made finals. I was like, okay, it wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad. I started getting more comfortable.
nice.
I was like, okay, I'm getting used to it. So it's not as bad as I thought, but it was definitely a good experience. Liked every single moment, like the feeling of being stressed. So I'm like,
Hmm.
okay, it can't get any more stressed than this now. Like I think
Yeah.
I've got the peak stress this, but I'm like, you know what? There is Paralympics, so that's probably gonna be more stress on my part. But
I
you
mean,
know,
it's gonna be the same people, right?
yeah, same people. I
Yeah,
guess
that's
different
true.
stadium. So I'm like, maybe because like it's on TV, that's what scares me.
Yeah, but if when you're in the moment and you just focus on your surroundings and what's in front of you, then
Mhm.
that's going to be the same whether it's on TV or not. You're not even going to know what they're saying until you watch it after.
Yeah, that's true. That
That's
is so true.
once you go to Worlds, it's pretty much the same, just higher viewership. That's it. Bigger stage is
Yeah,
all.
and it's also like, okay, you're at Worlds, you're representing your whole country, so it's like you got to do good. You got to make sure you do good.
Yeah.
And I guess that's another lot of pressure too, because it's like, yeah, guys, so I got here. Now I got to show you guys what I can do. But
Yeah.
the
Well, I mean, you ran a personal best, so you can't really ask for more than that.
that's
And at
true. That's
the end of
true.
the day, as long as you're proud of your performance, then you did a great job.
That's fair. What would you say was like one of your like the first time you went to Worlds? How was like the feeling?
So my first senior team, okay, my first world team was World Youth, which was under 18. And that one was when I was 17. And that was in Italy. So that was crazy because I'd never been that far from home.
Mhm.
And being on TV, that was crazy to me. And just competing against people from around the world, it was like, damn, like this guy's from Japan, this guy's from Jamaica, this guy's from Italy, this guy's from the US. It's like, wow, this is the cream of the crop right here. And then I was
Hmm.
looking at the PRs and I was like, I think 12th in the world. I ran the 10:55 legal. And I remember I saw somebody that ran like a 10:3. And I was like, how am I supposed to compete with that? But then what I realized is that just because it's on paper as their PR doesn't mean that's who they are on that day. And so
Ah,
as I was going through the rounds, I started beating people that on paper were supposed to be faster than me, but I was beating them. And then it looked like
mhm.
I was gonna be the favorite going into the finals. And then the finals, it was raining and there was a headwind. And
Oh,
back then they had like the two false start rule. So somebody false started once already. So like the field was set and I was like, next false start, you're out. And earlier in that year, I'd already false started in a different race indoors. And so all I could think was, okay, don't false start, don't false start. And so in the final, I had the worst start ever. And I
no.
come back and catch the field. And I was able to catch everybody except the winner. So I was second. And that just like gave me so much confidence because in my first competition at
Hmm.
Worlds, I was second in the world. Going into it, I was just happy to be there, to be honest. And I didn't
Yeah.
really have expectations like that. And I broke the Canadian youth record, which that record I still have. Um, and then fast forward 2012, that was my first senior team, which
Mhm.
ended up being the Olympics. So, you know, my when I was against like everybody in the world for the first time, no age like limits or anything. That was a crazy experience. And I remember I was so nervous before the first round I couldn't even eat. It was me and
Oh.
Akeem Haynes. We're in the cafeteria, and he's like, "Yo, you're gonna do great, man. You're good. Don't worry. You got this." And I went out there and I tied my PR, which was 20:55 back then. And then
Ooh.
after the first round, I was like, "Okay, that wasn't bad. That was pretty fun. Let's do it again." And then I looked at the semifinal lane draw, and I had Bolt in my heat. So I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Oh my days.
So I raced Bolt, no big deal. And I still remember like one of my favorite moments in my career is after the race. I ran a big PR in the semifinals, and I missed the
Mhm.
finals by 5/100th of a second, which is crazy because I had a whole story leading up to getting there where I wasn't even on the team at first.
Mhm.
And I had to appeal and all this stuff, and then I was ninth in the world at my first Olympics. But I always remember after the race shaking hands with Bolt, and there's a picture of me doing it, and I showed all my friends when I got back, and it was just kind of like, all right, now like there's nobody that I should be afraid of racing because I raced the greatest of all time, like the world record
Yeah.
holder, done all these great things. So that kind of like you said, like you once you've raced those people, it's just like now going forward, all these experiences are going to be just seeing how much further you can get and how much better you can be because it's kind of the same people, once you
Mhm.
get to that level and get the a taste of it and experience it, it's kind of just like, all right, done it. Now let's just see how good I can be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And would you say like your first experience has now like kind of changed like your most recent experience?
My first experience changed my recent.
Yeah. So like how do you kind of approach stuff like now when you go to like worlds or like the Olympics?
Oh yeah. Well, because I'm a professional now, there's more stakes, right? So it's like this is my career. This is like how I perform has a lot more bearing on certain things in my life because this is how I make a living. So Um, I've been to so many now that it kind of is just like, all right, it's time to lock in. And I know like I got to get in my zone and kind of, you know, just make it happen. And everything I'm training for all year, I know this is for the moment. So like moments like right now in the training, even though it's December, I'm already thinking about Paris when I'm training because I know
Mhm.
like everything that I do now is going to compound over time. And all the work that I put in is what I'm going to think back to when I'm on the line in Paris, thinking like, okay, can I do this? And I give myself that like vote of confidence saying like, yeah, remember back in December when you did that crazy workout and you got through it? It's like, oh yeah, I did do that. And then that gives me confidence knowing that, okay, I worked really, really hard to get here. And now this is the easy part. All you got to do is just show the world what you can do and what you've been preparing to do. So that's my
Mhm.
approach now. It's just like, don't even think about like all the external stuff. Like, of course, it's the Olympics, so everyone's watching and people are like wanting to see you do well and you want to show that you can, perform to the best of your ability. But at the end of the day, what matters most is performing for you and the people that help you get there. You got to keep that in mind. And once you take care of that and they're proud of you, everything else is just house money. Like it's just icing on the cake, you know?
Yeah.
'Cause I remember my first race in the Olympics, I was thinking like, oh, I gotta make T Catter proud. And I was thinking like having the weight of the nation on my shoulders. And it's just like that's too much to carry, right? Like you
Hmm.
don't want to be thinking about all your fans and people watching and all the negative people on social media who might make fun of you if you do bad or whatever, run slow. It's just like
Yeah,
all that stuff is just like it's just chatter, you know? Like it's kind of like when do you play video games?
I do.
Okay. So if you think about playing a video game, like let's say Call of Duty, for example, there's all these toxic people that are in the chat and they're gonna
Oh,
say all kind of crazy stuff to you. They don't know you, right? They're just saying stuff because you're another player in the game. And so knowing that they don't have the information of who you are as a person, what they say to you shouldn't really penetrate because like they don't actually know who you are. They're just kind of talking about your character. And it's the
yeah.
same thing with like running, because if people say something on social media, they don't know what you did at practice. They don't know what you got going on in your life, right? So if they don't
Hmm.
have that information, how much do they really know about you? Like all I could see is what they see on TV for, a minute while you're on the screen. And then it's okay, it's the next person. So I kind of look at it like that, like the people that actually know what I've been through are the ones that matter. And as long as they're proud and I've made them happy with my performance, at the end of the day, I'm good.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was inspirational.
Yeah. So, you're at what school?
I go to U Ottawa.
You auto. Okay. And how do you find balancing school and track? Has it been challenging or
Um, See, it's gonna make me sound like such a bad student, but like I think I put track before school.
hey, that's
Like
okay,
saying student
priorities?
athlete is like, yeah, student first, athlete second. I'm like, nah, it's athlete student.
Okay.
Definitely athlete student. Because I think I'm at the gym more than I am at school, but doesn't mean I don't get schoolwork done. Gotta still have that done because mom's like, gotta
Yeah.
graduate school. That's
Yeah.
number one. So
Yeah.
I'm like, gotta still focus on school, but track is track comes first for me.
Okay. Hey, I mean, as long as you balance you're working the school and
Hmm.
you getting stuff done and you're not, flunking out or anything, there's no
Oh,
reason track can't be your main importance if that's what you really value because this is you're passionate about it and you want to chase that.
yeah.
You qualify for the Paralympics, so I know it's exciting.
Yeah, like I have my goals for school, but I'm like, it's a big year. It's the Olympic slash Paralympic year. So
Yeah.
my focus now is going to be a lot more towards that. I'm still getting my schoolwork done, but
Right.
most places that you'll see me is either at the gym or on track. So
Nice, nice. Spend that time working on your craft. It's good.
that's what's most important. So
So what are your goals for this season?
definitely to get everything like put into place, like finally have a dry phase,
Okay.
a good transitioning phase,
Mhm.
putting pressure on the blocks, crossing the line
Mhm.
without like slowing down before, dipping at the line. um, Definitely, I fixed my reaction time because I used to have the worst reaction time of history
Okay.
because I would always be afraid to false start. So that's
Mhm.
definitely improved a lot,
Mhm.
and especially in the 60s. So that's helping. Um, and yeah, also have a really good curve run.
Okay. These are all
Yeah.
good things. Most people might say like a time or they want to win this, whatever, but you gave me like actual things that are going to lead to those goals. So that's good. You broke it down to like the technical aspect, and that's
Yeah.
kind of like baby steps to build you up to get to where you want to go performance wise. So you're on the right track.
Because
Very
I
good.
could say, oh, I want to run at 11:5, but it's like, okay, you want to run the time, but how are you going to get
There
there?
you go. There you go.
So
You got it. You got it. Good job.
I've had a good coach.
I
Shout out
see.
to Glenroy and Yolande.
Nice, nice. So Glenn Roy's your coach.
He's not my coach, but he's always like at the track giving me
Okay.
advice.
Okay.
One of the few people who like believes in me the most. He's like, Bianca, you can do this. Like, and I'm like, are you sure? He's like, I can see that you can do it. You just gotta like think it. Like, you gotta know that you can do it. Because I can tell you it, but like you have to know that you can do it. So
Yep. Yep. Damn, that's Big G right there. I've known him for years. So
mhm.
he was back when, man. I've known him for like 13 years, maybe.
Oh
Probably
wow.
longer than that. Yeah, long, long time. Anyways, but he's good people, so keep him in your
Very-
corner. And if he gives you advice, he's an Olympic champion and world championship coach, so knows his stuff. He's been around the block.
Definitely knows what his stuff. He fixed my blocks. He's like, your blocks are wrong. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, you look like you're squished.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
then now you fixed them. You know what you're doing. I trust you.
Hmm.
Like 100% trust him. Whenever he says something, I'm like, I'll do it on the spot.
Good, good, good.
So
Cool, cool, cool.
always got to make sure. Oh, I actually have a question for you. Um, so I know you run the relays, like you're on the relay team. What
Mhm.
would you say a position that you'd like to do besides the one that you already do now?
Like the leg.
Yeah.
You know, I've ran first, second, and fourth, and I've medaled at each position, but I've never
Mm-hmm.
tried third leg, even when I was in high school. So I
Hmm.
think I'd love to see what I could do on a fly around the curve one time, but it's hard because we have our dynamic down so set right now. Like we won the world championships, broke the Canadian record. Like our A squad is like good, and everyone's in their
Mm-hmm.
spot. We're comfortable. We've got that chemistry. So it's hard to shake things up now.
Yeah.
But like maybe for like a world relays or something where it's less stakes and it's kind of just like, having fun. Or not even world relays because that's you still got to qualify for the Olympics. So maybe like Florida relays or something like that. I'd love to
Yeah.
try third leg just once, just to see what it'd be like and um, see what I could split because Brendan does his thing on third leg, of course, and he always gets us in good position. But I'd
Mm-hmm.
love to see what I could do and just shake up the relay, just to say I ran every leg and now I'm like the ultimate relay runner.
Ultimate relay runner.
Yeah, but yeah, third leg, I'd like to try that.
Mm. Because I was gonna say, like, I think third leg is like whoever has the best curve run,
Hmm.
from what I heard. So I'm like, for a two runner, I don't
Yeah,
know. Seems pretty
yeah,
good.
I know. What about you? What leg do you run?
I'm usually the last leg
Okay, anchor.
because it takes me a while to build up speed. Like, okay, let's get for a running start. So,
Hmm. Have you ever tried second?
no, I've always either done first or last.
Okay,
Yeah. I don't know why they put me as first because I had the worst reaction time, but
yeah, maybe just to get you guys in the race early.
yeah, I guess so.
That's how I feel like my job is to get us in the race early, kind of eliminate some of the other teams just off the
Yeah.
rip. And so we
Like
only
on.
have to worry about the certain amount of teams going around the track. That's what my job is.
Mm.
And then, kind of be the biggest cheerleader as I pass the stick. Because once my job is done, I'm just watching. It's funny.
I feel like the first leg is usually the funnest one because like you get to watch like okay like, I'm done my job. Let me just like see how the rest goes.
Fun when the rest of the team does well. It's not fun when, chaos happens and things mess up. It's like, but, you know, these things happen in the relay. They're unpredictable, and that's why they're so great. All the drama.
The troll. If you weren't like doing a one or two, what event would you like do instead?
Ooh. Um, I mean, the easy answer would be the four, just because, I've been experimenting and people, even when I was in high school, like my club coach, Bill Stevens, always wanted to convert me to the four. And he said, the minute you stop running fast in the 100, I'm gonna make you a forerunner. So I just never stopped running fast in the 100. Um, but I just feel like it comes natural to me because of what my skill set is and like my height, my stride, and stuff like that. Like I feel like I can hold my speed for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And last year I ran my second 400 of my career and I ran 45.8. So my coach said I can run another one this year. And my goal, I'm trying to get down to 44. That'd
Mm-hmm.
be that'd be like crazy. I think I'd be top three in Canadian history with that. And that'd be
Yeah,
cool because I'm second in the two and fourth in the 100. So if I could be, top five in three events, that's kind of, I don't know anybody else that's really done that.
that's a
Um,
fun.
yeah. So I'd say the four. But then running rounds of the four kind of seems like cruel punishment. So I don't know if I'd want to do that at Worlds. Like I'm kind of a one-off guy. So maybe like a field event. I'd say probably long jump because I did that in high school and that was fun. I just never had a mark, so like I'd always jump way before the board, and that would
Yeah.
take off a lot of my distance. But if I actually had like a coach to teach me like where to jump from, how to approach my speed, like my steps and all that stuff, I want to see how far I could jump. I played basketball, so I always had bounce, and I
Hmm.
was able to dunk at a young age, so I could still dunk off vertical. So I got hops, and I want to see. Obviously, I got speed, so I mash those two up and see how far I could long jump. That seems fun.
I feel like every sprinter, whenever like let's pick a different event, they're like long jump.
Long jump. I mean, it's natural because like they go hand in hand. That's just kind
Yeah.
of it's the easy one. Like I wouldn't say hurdles or anything like that because the high hurdles are way too high for guys. So I'd fall on my face. Um, and then distance running doesn't seem like fun for me. Throws, I mean, maybe, I don't know, javelin or something, or discus. Maybe I could learn that. Um, High jump seems really technical. I don't know how good I'd be at that. Um, so then it just seems like, I mean, and decathlon is crazy because, I don't want to pole vault. Going that far high in the air and then having to come down, I feel like I'm gonna fall on my face again.
Oh,
So I mean, what's really left, right? So it's like 400 or long jump. And then triple jump kind of seems, I don't know, I guess maybe triple jump could be a possibility too, but long jump seems more simplistic and just straightforward. Just run and go.
yeah.
What about you? What would you do?
Probably long jump too. Or
Same.
or actually high jump.
High jump? Okay.
I feel
Okay.
like I could do high jump because I have the gymnastic background. So I'm like, okay, I could
Oh,
like that way,
flexible. Yeah. There you go.
right?
That
So
makes sense.
definitely high jump or long jump. Triple, like
Okay.
you said, just seems too complex. Like hop, skip, jump. I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah. I feel
running in
like
a
I'd
straight
mess it up.
line.
Yeah. And then
So,
it'll drive me crazy too. Like imagine getting the first two steps like really far and then you mess up the last one. It's like, oh my God.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
see, yeah,
Or you get the jump right, but then you foul because you have like a pinky toe over the line. Like
yeah.
that would just kill me.
It's too complex. But even in like long jump, because I would either jump way before or like my foot would be a bit past the line. So I'd be like,
Mhm.
oh, like yeah, it doesn't count. I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
okay.
that was frustrating. I remember in offside I went for three golds. No, four golds. Uh I ran the 1, 2 in the 4x1, but I ran the senior 4x1 when I was in grade 10. And
Oh,
I broke the Officer record in the 100. We broke it in the 4x1. I won the two, but I don't remember what I got in the long jump. I think I got like six or something like that. But I
mm,
had one jump where I hit the board, and if it would have counted, I would have broke the Officer record. But it was a foul. So
no.
yeah, it just ruined history for me. I mean, I guess I still made it with three golds, but yeah, four would have been like, okay, it's legendary.
4 golds with 4 records.
Well, three because I didn't get in the two, but
Oh.
back then I didn't really run the two like that. Like the two kind of seemed too far for me. So I used to like jog the turn and then try to run at the end. And that also was, a little more difficult. I kind of cut it close, but I still won, so I guess it worked.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know if I asked, but like if you weren't doing track, because I know you said you did basketball, you did soccer. So
Mhm.
like if you weren't doing track, what sport would you think you would go pro in instead?
Soccer. Um, no, probably football. Football. Yeah. I actually had scholarship offers to play football and do track in the States.
Oh.
But I went to USC, and that wasn't one of the schools that was going to give me a scholarship for football because they were under sanctions for the Reggie Bush scandal where he took money, even though now we have NIL, so it's like legal to take money. So it's
Mm-hmm.
crazy. But back then it wasn't legal, and they lost scholarships because of that. And so I could have walked onto the team, but I would have had to give up my football scholarship. And then
Mm.
when I saw the size of those guys, I'm like, yeah, it's too intimidating. I don't know if I can make it. I'm just a little Canadian kid who just, played football for fun, and these guys have been playing their whole life. So I never ended up walking onto the team. But if I went to another school that offered me playing football, I think maybe I would have had a chance to see what I could do. And who knows, maybe I would have been in the CFL or NFL or XFL or whatever. Or maybe I still would have been in track. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah, another lifetime.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And like, what position did you play like when you were in soccer?
I was a winger, so I ran up and down the wing, or I'd
Yeah.
play striker.
Oh.
Um, Either way, the strategy was the same on all my teams. Was just run, 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 go get the ball, make one move on the goalie, or shoot at him and score. And it worked for a long time. But then I stopped playing in high school. I changed things up.
Would you ever do like swimming as a sport? Like,
Uh, I mean, I can swim. Not like I'm not Michael Phelps or anything. I'm not
yeah.
Penny Alexiak, but I can swim, and that's about it. Recreationally, go in the pool every now and then, and just kind of do a little stroke here or there. But competitively, no, I'd get burnt. I'm not nice like that. What about you? Do you swim?
I do swim, but I'm rarely in the water, so it's Canada here, so it's
Sure. Yeah. You need them indoor heated pools.
I think we do like on campus, but I don't go there either.
Okay. Fair enough. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm biased, obviously, but I think track is the best Olympic sport. So you're in the right spot.
I agree too.
There you
No one could convince me otherwise.
go.